Good morning, traders. Perry Wilkie with StartTrading.com. It is 7 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on the last day of the month, Friday, January 31st. So, as we look back at yesterday's session real quick, really just at, $5 range in the NQ for the most part. That's where the majority of the action took place. $5 range in the on the Qs, it was $5 range. On the SPY, it was a $5 range. Just kind of sitting here, uh, balancing, just marginally higher for all the indexes except for the Dow. Right, the Dow was just basically inside. There was no anomalies yesterday. The Russell has very small VAs. The rest of them are, about average. So if we look at, where we're at right now, the Qs are trading 527 after closing at 523, so they're up about $4 or 160 points on the NQ. And then looking at for today, you can see each of these lines is you know 10,000 contracts, and then looking at being at 527 right now. You can see 525s should be an SR line, and so should 530. And then we'll have to see, what happens if we can break one of those two. That would be basically a 200 point range, minus 100 or plus 100, or you could go, minus 100 up 200, or plus 100 minus 200. You get the idea there. And then as we look at, before we figure out if that range is going to hold or not, looking at the SPY closed at 605. We're trading 608 right now. Um, you can see there's, not a lot up here for today on the action. And even next week, it's not, you got a little bit up in here, but um, we'll see. Obviously, negative gamma starts back below 600 again. And then if we end up, for whatever reason, not calling it out there, but if we end up just the VIX is skyrocketing, we're one time framing down, uh, you're going to go dramatically lower. The floor today would be about 190 points down. I think that is a, almost non-existent chance because of, all the stuff on the board next week that will be, you'd have to pass through to get there. So I think that is, those are going to expire and go off at zero. So as we look at the cash index. The cash index closed at 6071. We're up 27 points. So we'd be basically just under 6100. You can see that is a large SR line for today. So we could be, at an inflection point. We could just sit here and get fills around this large gamma area, or get a little bit of a rejection from it. But that's the bogey line that you're going to want to watch today. And it could be just a magnet. As you get, the farther you get away from it, you get sucked right back into it. The farther you get ahead of it, you just get sucked right back to it again. That's definitely on the table for today. Looking at, the indexes, yesterday's point of control, basically 6100 on the ES, and then you got 6148 half is the point of control from the January 24th session. So that's your bogey to the upside. You'd have to end one time framing up, so you'd really need to get back below yesterday's low to have any choice of acceleration down, and that's so far below. Again, you would just need a screaming VIX, and you can see you got basically a 3-day balance up here. I think it's going to be hard to break that 3-day balance today, and I would look for that not to happen at this point in time. So as we look at what we're shooting for, we're still shooting for this 3-day balance up here for the Nasdaq. That's at 22,075. you'd have to break that 535 or 530 and head towards 535 to get up to that 22,075. Uh, that would be about 300 points up, and that would be right around where that 535 is going to be for today. And then for the ES, you're looking to get back up above 61, 65. I just don't know if there's enough gumption to take it up there. I'd look for resistance around this 48 to 55 range. If we get up there, there should be sellers. There has been sellers up in that area, and I would look for that as what Jack would refer to as your, premium zone up there. And then looking at all the indexes, we're holding above the previous day's high. It's not out of the question that we could get an engulfing bearish candle down. I'm not. You gotta wait till you see some structure to see that. Otherwise, we're just gonna continue to, slowly digest up, and eventually, whether it's today or sometime, mid next week or whatever, you're heading back up towards this, 22,000 area to get some fills. And for the ES, you at least need to get back up to 61.44. Um, we have had, pretty volatile action at least 1 point every session, if not 2 points each session. So I would look for that to continue again. And then, that's uh, like a triple ATR bar up or down, and with just no continuation so far. So we'll see if you ever get one of those bars. That's when your trend will change, right? If you have one of those bars and then you actually see continuation on some retracement levels back to the downside. Uh, so for today, expect more of the same. Gap fills down here at 625 and then 6100. And there's, we'll see if we get it. Uh, to be honest with you, I'm not expecting a whole lot today. It just another, probably 200 to 300 point bell to bell session range for the NASDAQ, and about a, 45 to 70 point range for the ES. And, the closer you get to those levels, the more, you're extended in the range for today, I think. Unless we really get some one-time framing on the VIX, you start getting those bigger retracements, you start holding a halfway back sequence, then you can start looking to see if the VIX is going to follow along. I hope this helps. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see what Jack's looking at, and I'll talk to you on Monday.